Hi everyone, this is Bryn, and you are listening to an audio version of the Ultimate Bridal Blog presented by Columbia City Bridal. The venue is one of the most important pieces of your wedding next to the person who is marrying you. This is episode 4, The Venue. Now that you have a budget, it's time to start actual planning. The venue is one of the most important pieces of the wedding next to the person who is actually marrying you and your love. Whether or not the venue is in the top 2 on your priority list, it is quite literally where all the magic is going to happen. Once you have your budget figured out, you should start searching for your venue immediately because they tend to fill up quickly. Something you should try to be flexible with is the date you want to get married to. Once you find a venue you want, they may not have the weekend or even the month open that you want, and that's okay. Before you schedule, check the size of the venue. Make sure that the venue will hold the size of the wedding you are expecting to have. You do not have to have an official guest list created at this point, but just an average number, or know that you are either going to have a small, medium, or large wedding. One of our contributors this week, Katrina, noted while venue hunting, "We knew we were going to have a fairly large wedding and wanted to make sure we didn't look at places that were too small. We didn't want to tour a place, fall in love, and realize it couldn't hold our amount of guests." Determine how much. Find out roughly how much the venue costs, and if it is over your total wedding budget, then skip it. You certainly will run into places that cost a lot, but it really depends on what all is included that make it worthwhile. So if it seems pricey, don't rule it out just yet unless it is over your whole wedding budget or close to it. Another contributor this week was Bride Andrea, who noted, "I wanted somewhere that fit my wedding vibes of formal, classic, elegant, but I really didn't want the traditional ballroom. I wanted somewhere unique that would be memorable for my guests. I did a lot of research online beforehand and narrowed down places that fit my budget and guest count before going in person to tour them." Pay attention to the aesthetic. If you do not already have a theme or aesthetic in mind, that is something that needs to be done before scheduling a walkthrough. While you could potentially just go to look at venues you like without a theme in mind, it could be overwhelming and your wedding vibes could turn into a hodgepodge of things. Talk about a hot mess. Check out pictures of the venues and what a wedding would potentially look like there to help you make your call. Read reviews. In this day and age, we know that the internet is a powerful tool. One of the most important things you can do is read reviews left by other brides who experienced the venue, or any vendor at that. Sure, some couples may have had a rough experience, and that's going to happen, but when you start seeing a recurring problematic occurrence, that is when the red flags should start flying and you should stay away. And just like that time you dated that guy thinking you could change his ways, don't bother trying to fix it. Sometimes what's broke is broke. During your visit, scheduling and reflection time. When you schedule walkthroughs, try not to do too many in one day, and always leave yourself time to reflect afterwards. The last thing you want to do when searching for your perfect venue is leaving yourself overwhelmed and exhausted. When it comes to reflecting on your visits, take whoever went with you to tour and go do something you enjoy. Enjoy a nice lunch or dinner, or even go get a drink and some apps. Something to help you unwind and discuss the places you toured, the good, the bad, and the ugly. More on this later. Ask questions. When it comes to asking questions, don't be shy. At this point, you may know some non-negotiables for you and your significant other. So when you go to ask questions, make sure they are relevant to what you and your significant other want. You may get your answers to know instantly if this venue is the one for you. Here are a list of questions to potentially ask or think about when finding your venue. You can also find them on our website to print off. If you do not want to do that, then I would take a notebook with you to make notes. If there is bad weather the day of, what will the backup plan be? If it's hot out, do you have something to help with that? Is there a microphone provided? What all is included in the price? What packages are there? Is there a venue event coordinator? How much flexibility do you have? Is the reception space split or all in one room? Can all your guests see? If food is through the venue, can we see a menu? Who sets up the decorations? Who tears down? Who cuts the cake? Who serves the cake? Do you want a buffet or plated meal? What do those look like at the venue? Do you have any vendors you have enjoyed and worked well with over the years? What are the restrooms like? Is there a room for the wedding party to get ready in? Where could I leave my personal belongings? Where would the cocktail hour or half hour be? What is the parking situation or valet for guests like? Can all vendors work in the space? Example, are there enough outlets for the DJ or enough space for a band? What is the payment schedule like? How early can things be set up? And is there a place to store items the day before? If the ceremony and reception is at the same place, how do they flip the room? Imagine and keep an open mind. When you are touring, just picture your beautiful day in the space you are viewing. Could you imagine yourself making your lifelong commitment there? One common recurrence we see from brides is the idea to keep an open mind. Several brides who wrote in said they saw a venue online that they loved, but when they actually toured it, realized it was not for them. On the contrary, there are brides who wrote in saying they scheduled walkthroughs to venues they weren't extremely excited about at first look, but ended up really liking it in person. Post-visit. We already talked about it a little earlier, but after you visit a venue, you should really try to leave yourself some time to unwind and reflect. Going out to eat or to get a drink with apps is a nice way to sum up the day with whoever you went venue searching with. Discuss the things you liked and some of the things that made you laugh because there was no way that was going to work. Make a pros and cons list to help you navigate and organize your thoughts. And if you and your partner end up booking a venue, make sure you celebrate by taking a picture at the location and doing something you both enjoy.